But we have an impactful case. We have multiple victims in an incident, murder-suicide. In my 27, pushing to 28 years at this police department, we've never had anything like this happen before. The closest I can think is back late 95 or early 96, where we had a multiple homicide incident on the East Green Extension. That tells you how long ago that was. The streets don't even exist like that anymore. So clearly an impactful case for us as a police department, as a city. We got different pieces of the puzzle that we're working on here as a police department now. Number one is the investigative side. That is our primary responsibility, is that crime fighting element to make sure we bring offenders to justice. And I think this case, from what I can tell, all the ends are wrapped up. I don't think there's going to be a lot of conclusion to go on after this. There'll be questions that will go unanswered in this. We'll never be able to answer as a police department. That's one piece of the puzzle. There's another piece of the puzzle for us as a law enforcement agency. We have to monitor our officers now. This was a heavy-duty crime scene. I have no doubt about it. While I came to the police department and didn't go to the crime scene, I have gotten some details on it. And so we now have to watch out for our own officers and their mental health and how they're going to push through this incident. While I know we're supposed to put on that armor every single day and just sort of push through, and they did. They did a phenomenal job of pushing through that day. This is going to be a long-term thing. We have to recover from it, things you see that you can't unsee. So we'll make sure to monitor our folks, and that'll be an internal effort for our police department through our city. That's a big piece of the puzzle. In this incident, it started around on Saturday morning, the 7th. I think we got the first call around 7:05 in the morning from multiple residences on Mossy Meadow, claiming two individuals going door to door, banging on doors, basically saying they needed help. Our officers responded immediately, made contact with them, and that's when we were pushed to the address, the actual address on Mossy Meadow. And our officers made entry and then found the crime scene with multiple deceased inside the house, all family members related to each other, and that's where our investigation started. So it's been a long and arduous process. We apologize for delaying this long to do some sort of follow-up, but we felt like it was the right thing to do, to take our time once we thought we'd bring this to resolution a little bit and make sure we got the details right. Now, before Lieutenant Welch gets up here, we have discussed this as a group. There's certain information that we're just not going to release, as mentioned, like names of the juvenile victims. I know it's probably out there in other contexts, but we're just not going to do it as a police department. We just don't want to get into that. Out of respect for the family, and there's 1,000 reasons. And we just made a decision as a group, we're just not going to do it. So everyone, like Victoria said, we give it an updated press release. Hopefully you can get what you need out of that, but that will not be given out by the police department today. I've also asked Lieutenant Welch to sort of hold back on some of the investigative details. I know this has made national news in many different outlets, and people have questions, but there's only so many things that we're going to answer. We just have a duty to investigate properly, but it's not to lead anything else. And again, out of that respect to the family is one of the biggest things, piece of this puzzle right now. So what I'll do is I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Welch, and he'll go through some anything, and then we'll open up for some questions. Correct, Victoria? Okay, thank you.